Good Sunday evening to you, everybody. It's meteorologist Matt Wins here with your region weather live on this Sunday. Thank you guys so much for making the switch over to earlier hours for my family and I. Obviously, that works for getting all these kiddos ready for school tomorrow. I hope you guys are doing all right. Had a little bit of snow, right? Those of you watching the Bears-Packers game, we had that burst of snow, some of those snow squalls that moved through. Not too problematic for us here in Northwest Indiana, but we did see, obviously, some bursts of snow and some icier spots. Especially downstate, not far south, we had some issues even going into this morning. Incredible stuff coming our way, though, as we go throughout the rest of the month. We've got, and again, I don't like to hype train it, but the latest model runs for some of this cold air are just unreal. I mean, we are literally, at least the potential's there to displace the weather at the North Pole, which we do sometimes. We'll get a moderate brand of cold air, but we have a potential to displace literally the air in the North Pole, slide it across all sorts of snowpack in Canada down to our area, and it looks really, really cold, like dangerously cold around here. At least the potential's there in the extended forecast. So we're going to talk about that. First and foremost, you'll probably notice I'm donning a Olympic hoodie. NBC gave us these lovely Olympic hoodies that we're ready for. Excited for the Winter Olympics. Anyone else like the Olympics? I just love the Olympics, and I love watching them with the kids. There's so many good stories of people that have just worked hard their whole life so far. They're just incredible athletes, obviously, but I just like the positivity of it, and the competition obviously is fun as well. In winter, when there's nothing else to do, it's always good to see some of that stuff going on. All right, we'll say hi to our early birds in a second. Let me get through our sponsors, and then we'll talk how cold this air is going to get. First things first, we'll plan out your week, right? I want you to know kind of what's coming your way this week. I already see a Go Bears. I'm sure we're going to have plenty of those. Steven's happy. What a game. Those cardiac kids, man, they're just nuts. All right, let's get through our sponsors. We'll throw up this looping satellite view of our weather flow across the area. Guys, you know the drill. I don't even have our sponsors on here. Let me add them. I redid the ticker that's on here, and it's all messed up right now. So here we go. There they are. There's our sponsors. Anyway, they're all local businesses. They're great. So if you guys need any of these things, please support them, not me. We'll start with TNT Tree Service. When it comes to tree removal, experience matters. TNT Tree Service out of Valparaiso is a family-owned business specializing in dangerous removals using modern equipment. Bottom line, if you guys need a tree down, if you've got a tree that's on the fritz after all the wind we've had recently, call TNT Tree Service, 219-300-6256. Or you can visit them at tttreeservice.com. That's 3 T's in that. Minogue.life. Michael Minogue's been serving Northwest Indiana in the world of life insurance, Medicare, Medicaid. He knows his stuff. If you're in any of those plans and you have questions, reach out to him. He says now, which you should know, we're in open enrollment period right now. So that gives you an opportunity to change your Medicare Advantage Part C one time between January 1st and the end of March. If you made a mistake or you're in a plan that doesn't have your preferred providers or medications covered, you are allowed to make that switch right now. If you have any questions, he'll sit down with you. No cost consultation. He'll go over your plan. No two plans are alike. Reach out to him. Minogue.life is the website there. PublicServiceAdjusting.com. If you have an insurance claim on your property, whatever that happens to be, don't go to your insurance company first. Go to PublicServiceAdjusting.com. It's local licensed insured adjusters right here in Northwest Indiana. They come out, analyze it, document it, submit all the documentation to your insurance company for you, and they'll talk to your insurance company back and forth so you don't even have to deal with them playing phone tag and all that mess. And also, they'll get you top dollar, right? Insurance company likes to say, it's not really worth that or depreciated. Public Service Adjusting doesn't care, all right? They're so stubborn and they're awesome. They fight on behalf of you. PublicServiceAdjusting.com. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram 4-wheel drive certainly helps out in the winter months. They've got a whole slate of 4-wheel drive vehicles ready to go, including the brand new Jeep Wagoneer, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso, right there on US 30 if you need a new car. FBIBuildings.com if you need a new pole barn constructed or renovated. They do both. Commercial, residential, they do it all. They've done over 20,000 of them in the Midwest. If you have any damage to a pole barn, whether it be residential or commercial, they'll fix that as well. FBIBuildings.com. TigerPlumbing.net for your local plumbing needs. You guys know Tiger Plumbing. They've been with us for about 3.5 years now. They were one of our first supporters, and I love Jeff and his team there. And they do great work. So many of you have used them. If you guys need a plumber, TigerPlumbing.net, the place to go. Kate Cusack, your home loan girl. Well, she's here to answer all your questions for 2026. New year, new house, perhaps. Rates are coming down. She knows the home buying process can be intimidating. She's got you covered with financing options for all budgets. Contact her today for a pre-approval or to call out and find out about those financing options for all your needs. Get in your dream home in 2026. Kate Cusack, Home Loan Girl on Facebook, or send her a message, or you can call her at 219-775-6645. Halcyon Water Solutions provides the highest quality water treatment as exceptional service all across Northwest Indiana. Water softening, filtration, they do that. They also deliver salt. They do maintenance on your machines. They've got all your water needs covered. If you guys need anything related to your water, which is so important in your house, call 866-97-WATER. You can even schedule your free in-home water analysis today. Wouldn't you like to know what's floating around in your water? They'll fix it. Romans Roofing is the place to go for all your roofing needs. They don't just do roofs. They do siding, gutters, windows. If you've got drafty windows, boy, once you see this cold coming, you're going to want to get them sealed up. Might be too late to get on the schedule for that, but spring would be a nice time to do it. Romans Roofing's got you covered. 219-838-9111, especially if you have any storm damage from the recent winds. They'll take care of that as well. Finally, last but not least, we've got Earl's Heating and Air Conditioning. Heat going to be pretty important the next couple of weeks. If your furnace is shaking or smoking or sparking, you probably want to get it fixed. Maybe you just need a tune-up. Maybe you need new filters. Maybe you need a new system. They've got great specials over at Earl's right now. Let them take care of your indoor environment. They can add humidity to your furnace as well and make it so you're not zapping yourself, your skin's not dry. They can take care of that. There's technology nowadays where they can do that. Call Earl's. It's earlsheating.com. They've been serving Northwest Indiana since 1976, earlsheating.com. All right, let's dive into the broadcast, shall we? We'll say hi to our early birds. Who was first? Mary was first. Mary, you are just all over the place. Mary, I was up. I had to fill in. We have a sick meteorologist on our staff, and so I filled in this weekend for the morning shows as well. So I'm on 7 days now, about to go on 12. So I'm ready to go. This weather pattern, like back of my hand. But anyway, Mary, I did a post this morning, and Mary was one of the first ones to comment on there. Mary, I always appreciate your kindness, and thanks for joining us here today. Susan's with us on our YouTube channel. Angie, hello to you. Hope your Sunday's going well. Mr. Mark is with us. Hello, Mark. Darlene is with us on our YouTube channel. Mindy is as well. Honor, still waiting on the snow. Honor, you don't have to wait much longer. It gets snowy here in the extended forecast. Kelly's with us. Hi, Kelly. Leanna's with us as well. Melissa, hi. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Jessica Ann's asking where's spring. Spring is in the forecast. Just have to wait till March. JP, hello, buddy. Lisa's with us. Holly says, I'm feeling very Olympic. Very good, Holly. Yes, and Brenda likes the Olympics too. I just love the Olympics. Donna, hello to you. Brittany likes curling. Yes, that has really taken off last couple Olympics. It's interesting. Great sport, though. Dot, hello. Thanks for joining us. Steven's a big Olympic fan. Natalie's not excited about the cold, I don't think. Sherilyn, hello to you. Let's see. Yeah, Honor's asking about heading up to Granite Peak in Wausau, Wisconsin to ski this next weekend. Any chances for accumulating snow? Yeah, I think they'll have some accumulating snow up there, Honor. It's going to be cold enough. Jeff's with us tonight. James and Nancy, you're absolutely welcome. Dee, hello. JP, the wind has been awful since it moved back in. After those 40 and 50 degree temperatures, that wind had just feels so much colder. It really does. Terry's with us. Hello. Gina's excited for the snow. And Francesca says snow. I think I caught up. All right, let's dive in, everybody. Here's the pattern across the country right now. We're back to that pattern that we've been in pretty much all of winter so far. Notice things are diving in the eastern half of the country. Everything's coming at us from the northwest. That was that little burst of snow with that low pressure that's pushing east that we had yesterday. New system off towards the north is going to miss us. We're going to have a fairly uneventful start to the work and school week. So tomorrow and Tuesday look fairly quiet. We're going to have a nice bounce back in temperatures. It's going to be like everything's just fine. And Mother Nature's nice and happy. Cold air north, warm air south. We're kind of in between with above average temps. Not the case, though. Everything's really active out towards Pacific Northwest again. There's numerous systems heading into Canada. And as a result, we've got some big problems in terms of cold air unlocking into Canada. And that cold air is going to be really cold. I mean, this is as cold as we get this time of year. Our typically coldest days of the year are sometime between now and January 22nd, more specifically about January 16th through the 22nd. Climatologically, that's when our average for the year hits its low point, all right? And then we start to rebound very slowly at first, but our average highs start coming up after that. So that being said, with our low sun angle, with the cold air that's building and the potential for, the coldest temperatures of the year, a lot of times what we get is we'll get a polar blast in here that doesn't arrive with the coldest peak of the year. So we'll get Arctic air in December, but it moderates when it comes in. We'll get an Arctic shot in February, but it moderates when it comes in. So it's not truly as cold as it can get. It looks like this year we may be lining up with our climatologically coldest days of the year when we could be the coldest and we get a shot of polar air. So we may be talking like record low temps surrender. So let's dive in. Forecast, obviously, as you see, is very active out west. In the near term, I want to give you Monday and Tuesday. All right, we'll get that out of the way. Wind is out of the northwest tonight, high pressure down to the south. That little system I showed you off towards the north, little weak clipper system, will miss us to the north. Can't rule out a flurry with this. A lot of times the models don't handle lake effect very well. But for us here locally, our wind will be out of the west. That is not a lake effect setup for us. And there's not a lot of moisture. We've got very dry air. But can't rule out a passing flurry tonight into the morning hours tomorrow. You won't even notice it though. And then tomorrow, kind of not windy, but we'll have a bit of a breeze out of the west. And you can see how that breeze really starts to pick up Monday night into Tuesday as another clipper slides north. This system, though, is going to start to unlock that colder air. And we'll see a temperature rise out ahead of it, and then the temps will start to fall midweek, all right? But no precip today or tomorrow, or not today or tomorrow or Tuesday. There'll be some stuff nearby, but no big deal. Kind of nice on the temperature front as well. Tomorrow's highs, you can see waking up tomorrow morning in the upper 20s and near 30, not bad. And then tomorrow's highs ought to make it. I've got us in the low to maybe even mid 40s if things go well. But it's not going to be a bad day temperature-wise, just kind of ho-hum. And then on Tuesday, out ahead of this system, we ought to peak into the upper 40s, maybe even 50, with a nice southwest wind here at the surface that shifts later in the day. So again, 2 not bad days out ahead of us. You guys ready for this? All right, let's talk about this. So this is basically your jet stream pattern. This shows the heights in the atmosphere. I mean, you can just look at it and tell what's going on. Cold air, okay, polar vortex up here, warm air down to the south. Jet stream usually flows where these two air masses meet, so kind of where these reds and oranges are. That's pretty much the flow of the jet stream, which drives weather systems, and that divides the Arctic cold from the warmth this time of year. All right, we saw stratospheric warming a couple weeks ago, and what we want in terms of the stratosphere is it's basically a jet stream around the North Pole, but we'll just put that for simple terms. What we want is a nice, real strong stratospheric jet stream that's just going around and around. That keeps the cold air bottled up. When it gets a little bit weaker, what happens is it kind of does this, and then you get these pushes and these ebbs and flows and all these wobbles across the northern half of the globe. And as a result, we can get some of those wobbles. Well, what we're getting into this pattern is a wobbly pattern, all right, for lack of better terms. And so watch what happens. We've got that cold air chunk that's going by right now, all right. It's not too big of a deal, but it is colder outside. I believe JP was saying how cold that wind really was. That's heading on by. We moderate for the next couple days. You can see how all the cold air kind of goes back up into Canada. But watch what happens later this week. So Tuesday and the Wednesday, here's that low pressure I talked about that's coming by on Tuesday. See it here just north of Lake Superior. This has a cold chunk of air behind it. But more importantly, there's going to be this big ridge that develops just east of Alaska. And everything will have to go up and around that. And as a result, the air, as it goes up in the jet stream out towards the west, comes down in the east. This low pressure will pull some cold air in. So you can see we get a chunk of cold air in here on Wednesday, but watch how this doesn't end. As this blocking high pressure stays here, everything has to go up and over it. So that keeps these chunks of cold air coming down. And with a wobbly pattern or a waffly pattern with these chunks of cold air due to the stratosphere, yeah, that means we can tap into some really cold air this time of year. So this is Friday. We've got another chunk of cold coming for the weekend. Right there, there's a shot. That shot comes in Saturday into Sunday. Another one after that on Monday of the following week. This is the 19th now. And then the cold air really dislodges. This chunk right here is what should be right over the North Pole, right? It's not always, but this is the coldest air in the world that will be coming into areas of northern Canada as we go into the following week. All right, Wednesday the 21st is what we're looking at. And all indication is that settles in southern Canada. How far south does it make? We'll have to keep an eye on it, but that is going to be some bitterly cold air. We're never going to get in the core of this, like where the actual epicenter is, but we can get darn close, and I'll show you what these temperatures do here in the long range. This is some seriously cold air in the eastern half of the country. All right, so how cold are we talking? I'm going to take you through the temperature map. so you can kind of see. We'll throw the numbers off of it, but I want you to see this Arctic air build. This is Tuesday, not bad. This is Wednesday. This is Thursday. See how that cold air starts to unlock and come into the lower 48? We will be in it. It's going to get much colder around here on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, another chunk comes in. Remember, we talked about that. Here's Saturday into Sunday. So next weekend, bitterly cold. Monday, Tuesday, more. Wednesday, Thursday. Look at this. This is that area of really cold air I was talking about. This is Thursday the 22nd. And yikes, this is the coldest air right here. That, I mean, this is a chunk. I mean, it takes up all of Canada. This is the coldest air easily of the entire winter so far. In some spots, it's going to be the coldest of many winters past, all right? Putting some numbers on it, this is what the Euro does. This is not an exact science when you get to day 15, okay? But look at the numbers. Not bad to start the week. We get down into the 20s on Thursday, quick bounce back on Friday, and then the cold hits for this weekend. We can handle this cold. It's January. We have teens and 20s all the time. But then after that, as we go into the next week, yikes, what is this that the Euro's doing on the 26th of January? Minus 12 for a high, minus 15 for a low. That's the kind of cold air potential that we have in the extended forecast. I want to show you wind chill values with that as well, right? Look at the potential wind chill values. This is Monday the 19th, so a week from today. Wind chill values, manageable, minus 15. We can handle that. But look at this chunk of cold that the Euro's picking up on. Yikesy, right there. Minus 50 and minus 40 degree wind chills, common, Wisconsin, Minnesota. For us, minus 30 to minus 35 is what the models are saying right now. That is the kind of cold that is at least showing up in the long-range models, and it's showing up in a lot of them as well. We know the cold air is going to be in Canada. Just how far south does that make that? Hopefully, this will moderate over the next, couple days in the model runs that we see. But yikes, that is stuff you don't mess around with. That's when you have pipes that are having all sorts of issues, plumbing, water main breaks, all sorts of stuff. You can have the frost quakes with that, where you have the earthquakes from just the ground freezing up and that expansion. Just unbelievable how cold this air mass could be. And again, time frame on that, it's not locked in, but we're looking at sometime January 24th through the 27th, okay? That's what we're looking at right now. Could this change? Yes. Could it stay the same? Yes. All right. Equal chances either way, but that potential showing up. And so I wanted to show that to you. All right. Last thing I'm going to cover here, and then I'll answer your questions. Let's talk about the snow. Are we going to get snow out of this? And it does look to turn pretty snowy around here. I don't see any huge snowstorms in the first couple Arctic air masses because there's not a lot of moisture when there's Arctic air, right? The drier the air, the less moisture it can hold. We get snowstorms typically when our temperature's upper 20s to low to mid 30s, right? Because we can maximize that amount of moisture. We're not going to have a lot of moisture. So we're talking light, fluffy stuff, but we could add up and we could get pretty snowy around here, especially when salt isn't effective at those low temperatures. Quiet start to the week, as I showed you. Here's a Tuesday system. This is why I said we could have a few flurries or rain showers with it, because the Euro hints at getting a little bit further south than the HRR does. Either way, not a huge system coming by on Tuesday. But that sets the stage for our pattern change. Here's our low by Wednesday. So Wednesday's our first day that I have precip in the forecast, and that would be a rain changing over to snow showers. And we could get a period as the low starts to go out towards the east. We could get a period of some decent snow, especially coming off the lake, some lake-enhanced snow, Porter, LaPorte counties on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. So the first time kind of this week weather-wise that I want you to highlight in your head is Wednesday rush hour for evening, okay? Could get a little snowy around here. That's when that cold air hits, all right? We'll start mild. Wednesday morning rush hour looks just fine. May even have some showers. Temps likely in the upper 30s, low 40s, and then that temp comes down. Snow showers develop, and there's pretty good indication that we could develop some heavier snow around here of the lake-enhanced variety, meaning we already have snow falling, and then it gets heavier as that moisture comes off the lake. That would be for your Wednesday evening rush hour into Thursday morning's rush hour as well. Could get a couple inches out of that. All right, that one kind of comes to an end. New Clipper comes in Friday. This would bring an area-wide accumulating snow as well. And with the cold air in place, that gets tricky. It doesn't take much. You get an inch or two of fresh powder that's blowing around with cold. You get all sorts of problems with that. So that's on Friday. That low looks to linger. This is going to change in the modeling because I've seen it change on all the weekend runs that I've watched. But there's going to be some kind of big low that comes in with cold air. We know that. but overall we'll be dealing with snow shower activity. It'll be pretty widespread. So I do think it gets snowy around here Friday, Saturday into next weekend. And remember that cold comes with cold air around here. Snow showers would continue with another low pressure that comes in next Sunday, Monday. All right. None of these have huge snows, but they all have some snow with it. So it would turn white around here. We would add it up. And then you can see next week, here's the polar air that's getting ready to come in with another snow hit perhaps Wednesday the 21st. Another snow hit coming in after that, and then another snow hit after that. And that one would come with a bigger system with a huge chunk of cold air that comes in. So, I mean, we're looking at it. We knew that we had payback coming our way in January, right? We had a nice mild start. Things weren't so bad, and overall things have certainly kind of turned the corner here with some cold here over the weekend, and then it really starts to change after that. I promised that was the last thing to show you, but I lied. I want to show you how much snow that we're expecting to add up. Not a ton, but some, all right? And let's get to the 12Z so I can show you some of these totals. Watch how it just kind of consistently adds up over time, right? That's pretty snowy around here. The Euro is saying anywhere from maybe 10 to 20 inches around here on the ground by the time January 26th rolls around. That's some time, all right? And January is our snowiest month, so this isn't out of the realm of possibility. But the one thing I kind of want to hone in on, let's kind of zoom in real quick. This is that Wednesday night into Thursday snow that I told you to kind of check mark on your calendar. This is what the Euro's thinking in terms of that. I mean, that's not a slack. That's a 4 to 8 incher around here, and that's all lake effect and lake enhanced snow from that system. Notice outside of the snow belt, there's not a lot of snow, a couple inches possible with that changeover, but we're really going to have to keep an eye on that. This has ramped up in the latest model runs, so that tells me that it's not, it's not set in stone yet. It's something as a meteorologist that I'm going to watch right now. But overall, again, highlight Wednesday evening rush hour and then that Thursday morning rush hour. I know the kids haven't had a lot of snow days, but I mean, this would have the potential to do something like that, especially with that really cold air coming in Thursday. And then after that, it's just these subsequent hits of 1, 2, 3 inch snows that all add up. And you can see there's some lake effect on top of that. I mean, the Euro saying Michigan City, by the time January 26 rolls around, could have 27 inches of snow. Again, these numbers change all the time. They change 4 times a day, all right? However, the models have been trending for this pattern to take place. No hype with this whatsoever. Just want you to know it's going to turn snowy and it's going to turn really cold the rest of January. That's kind of where we're going after a nice start to the week, okay? Hopefully you found that helpful. Regionweather.com. I'll answer your questions here if you've got them. Regionweather.com. Don't forget to sign up for daily emails. I send those every single morning. I'll make a graphic. I type stuff up by hand. It's not AI. So many of these weather pages are using AI right now. It's so annoying because you can tell. It's like you're not that creative, right? But there's no AI. Send you a little message. It sends out to your email. That's all you get every single day. There's no spam or anything like that. But we'll have the forecast directly for Northwest Indiana every morning. Also, don't forget to catch us on the radio side of things, X-Rock 103.9, Indiana 105.5, and Z107.1. And also, we have one sponsor opening for the month of February. If anyone's interested, if you have a business and you'd like to join our family of sponsors, all local to Northwest Indiana. We don't do anything national, but if you'd like to look into that, just send me a private message on Facebook, or you can email us on our website. You'll see the Contact Us form. All right, let's get to your questions and answers here. All right, let's see. We've got a lot of people saying hello to the Bears. Very good, very good. Brenda says, yikes, not looking forward to that. I'm sure NIPSCO will love it. Yeah, that's true. They're going to love that heating bill. Always comes on up. Honor, you're absolutely welcome. Joni, glad you could find the information helpful. Yeah, it plans out your errands for the week. Good. That is my whole goal, is to make sure that you can obviously have an idea of what's coming our way this week in terms of weather. All right. John, thank you very much. That's so sweet of you. And I don't know if you knew, but Tom Skilling and I were buddies. I got to hang out with him several times at conferences. He was a good mentor of mine while I was doing meteorology at Lakeshore Public Television for my 6 years there. Just a great guy. Andy Avalos was another one. He was a great mentor of mine. They kind of helped shape the meteorologist I am today. So appreciate Skilling. Skilling is living his life right now. My goodness, he's like always shirtless and in Hawaii. So just, he's having a good time. That's it. Lisa's getting gas for the snowblower. Yeah, Maxwell, I heard some people commented and sent me a message about the thunder snow last night. Yeah, we had some good bursts of convective snow last night. I mean, it really came down in spots. Kind of crazy. Mary, you're absolutely welcome for sure. Yeah, John agrees with the Skilling comment for sure. Mark, I appreciate you. Thank you, buddy. You've always been so good at supporting as well. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I think that's it. I don't see any questions. So we're going to be on it all week. I've got updates for you. We'll probably do another live this week as well, especially if that Wednesday into Thursday snow looks like it's going to stay as prominent as is. We'll be on it for you. We'll keep you updated. Otherwise, just stay plugged in. Make sure you're getting the latest messages and posts from us, and that's all we can do. Okay? You guys have a wonderful Sunday evening. Please relax and get ready for that work and school week as we head throughout the month of January. We're getting into mid-January now already. All right. Take it easy.